It's not in the cards for you. I'm pretty good at insults, and I got the internet and a lot of free time.
You know what you never hear women say? You know, it's something you never hear women say at all. I'm so sorry, I'm not going to date you. You own a car. You own a hot tub. You have a 401k. You have a credit card. You have a nice house. You have a lot of money in the bank. And yet, you want to complain, Gen Z, about the environment being damaged, worker exploitation, slave labor, sweatshop labor, pedophile billionaires. But you're not doing anything to stop it, are you? You're riding around with the guys in the cars with the hot tub. They're connected to the oligarchy, the plutocracy. Everything that you hate about this world, you give into, Gen Z. And the world is going to continue to die. But how does that really make you feel?
I'm a leftist. Ooh, I'm a leftist. Ooh, fascists live to suck my dick. Ooh, fascism is obedience. Ooh.
Listen, if you're an age gapper, especially if you're a dude and a younger woman, people don't want to hear it because it upsets their central plexus or whatever, you know. People just want to complain about things that are different. They complain about the gay community, they complain about the black community, they complain about all sorts of things, but if they're like yada 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 on this, I don't see why it should be accepted either. You're comparing us to Trump, you're comparing us to Biden over on the right wing. It's offensive all politically on all sides for you to not want to hear about it because it's a certain kind of love. You're like, oh, half his age, you know, from that old Police song, Don't Stand So Close to Me. She's half his age because the girl in the story is 18. I guess technically she'd be a woman. And he's twice her age, and he's like 36 and a teacher, and he doesn't want to be in love with her. Don't stand so close to me, and she's in love with him, but they're not in a relationship. You see what I mean? So there's like that stigma, just like racism and homophobia that's unwarranted and uncalled for, and you really should just shut the fuck up and climb yourself down. And I'll say the same thing about anybody that hates on the gay community or the black community or any community. We're a community of neighbors. This is the United States. This is a world. If people don't want to hear something, well, you should probably talk about it more. If people do want to hear about something, it's probably something that's been said over and over and over again. People generally are kind of boring. You have to realize that this is what pulls a lot of Generation Z to the left, is that people are strict and boring. You know what fascism is? Fascism is obedience. I'm not saying there's not some good rules and laws out there, but there's probably more unjust rules and laws out there. Stuff that you don't even know about, like how they grade pickles and stuff like that. Prostitution being illegal, marijuana being illegal. They're just unjust rules. There's rules that keep the kids in the border cages. There's fascism everywhere. You're expected to be sort of obedient to a lot of these rules. I'm not advocating violence, and I'm not advocating any kind of like uprising over it, like stealing or whatever. But it's really time for Generation Z dudes and millennial dudes to shut the fuck up. Especially in reverence to one's elders. Just because the age gap relationship that I'm advocating does create stronger DNA in a child from that age of mom being 18 to 24, and that alone creates strife and competition. But the fact of the matter is that 2/3 of women want to have babies. And if you're between 35 and 55, you're going through these feelings as a guy that you don't really know how to deal with, because they expect you to have dealt with it. They'll make fun of you for this. You know, girls will sit around and listen to rap music and comment about how cute the rapper is. But if guys were doing that, looking at like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and saying, damn, she's smart, I wonder what she looks like in a bikini, that's chastised too. I'm not going to lie, I want to know what AOC looks like in a bikini too. I'm sure the right wing has talked plenty shit about that. But, you know, she is gorgeous and she is intelligent, and end of story. She's really nothing more to say. Wouldn't you want to see a gorgeous, intelligent babe for president that's especially a Democrat? I sure as fuck would. But see, they'll chastise you for that. But at the same time, what about all those chicks that were like, oh, Obama's so cute. Oh, Bill Clinton's so cute. But if the president's about to be a woman, if we're there saying, oh, yeah, she's so hot and intelligent, you know what happens to us? We get shunted away, kind of. We get pushed away like, oh, that's sexist. Oh, yeah, like you not wanting to suck Obama's dick? Come on. There really should just be an allowance of equality in all fronts here. So, I'm wondering, do Blatty and Young Lean need to stop saying nigga in their rap lyrics because they're white? See, here's the difference between Millennials and Generation Z. Millennials will say, yes, it's offensive. Gen Z will say there's way bigger fish to fry than some goddamn word. Like maybe the environment dying, you fucking retards. And I would agree with Generation Z. Which is why I'd rather marry Generation Z than the fucking hyphenating fucking libtard fucking bourgeoisie millennials. Shut your fucking mouths. Oh, and Generation X, if you don't get what Gen Z is laying down, I don't want to know you either, you uptight conservative twats. You fucking heard me. You're out of touch. And we're experiencing a planet that is dying of pollution. So get out of your fucking car, stop driving, stop putting things into factories, and let's work this shit out and stop worrying over a fucking dumb word that Blatty and Young Lean might use to describe something that is relevant to their generation, such as some niggas do break hearts. Like, oh, I don't know, the corporate fucking dictatorship of fascism that pollutes this fucking world while being a bunch of pedophiles. Fuck you. Why do Democrats obsess so much about little shit like bad words? They'll say, no, you can't say fuck, shit, or damn. They'll say you can't say retard or nigga. They'll say you can't say bitch. They'll say this and they'll say that. Up and down, up and down. So you think I'm a Republican at that? Well, no, I'm actually a lot more progressive than a Democrat. I'm a communist. I think that the whole libtard, like, hyphen last name, the whole, like, everything. I think that everything in society that society has ever done in America is this imperial bullcrap, bullshit, or bullfuckery that it should go away. You know, there should really only be one pronoun anyway. Us. We. That's set. We, us. Feel me, comrade? I think that there shouldn't be, we shouldn't worry about his or hers or thems. I think we should just focus on one. Us. I don't really care. The whole us and them paradigm seems kind of weird to me anyway. It's just like, there are thems, there are us's. But aren't you really trying to make everybody us or everybody them? We really should try to make everybody the same in a way. But people confuse things, like the fact that people think that everybody under communism is supposed to be exactly the same. Well, no, not really. It's each according to need, for each according to ability. Some people are more suited to work on cars. Some people are more suited to be janitors. Some people are more suited to be different kinds of professions. People are able or unable to work. People are more suited to having black ties and purple hair with green stripes in it, because that's just the way it is. You know, there are people that are different, and that's what capitalism squashes. Capitalism squashes things like that, differences. Capitalism is really just a marketing ploy for more fascism. If you think about it, it's fascism trying to make money. It's the same thing. When things like corporations and governments are intertwined, especially with religion, what do you think that is? That's fascism. The United States is a duopolistic fascist state. And most people don't realize this shit. Or they just go la-di-da through life pretending, when they know damn well in their heads they're going to become millionaires or billionaires one day. No, it's time to rise up. It's time to stand for something. Ideals. We largely notice the sort of interconnectedness of Generation Z. I have news for you guys. You're communists. Guys, they're communists. This is something that's supposed to be appreciated. Interconnectedness. The way nature is supposed to be. You ever notice when a bunch of Gen Z are around, even when they're not talking, it's almost like they have a hive consciousness or something, like a psychic link between them is kind of interesting and cool. Especially like 21-year-olds. Were we ever like that as 21-year-olds? No, we were yada, 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 yada. They're like on their phones talking. They're keeping things kind of private, you know what I mean? Even the millennials were like yada, yada, yada half the time. I'm talking about we're Generation X like that. We probably would be, because we were largely a introverted generation. So I think a lot of the hatred that comes towards Generation Z from Generation X and Millennials is jealousy. I'm pretty sure that stuff is sort of endearing to me, because I'm on my phone all the time. I understand that need to be interconnected. I understand things like the statistics proving the loneliness of Zoomers. Well, for a large part it is because they're on their phones all the time, and they're young and kind of doing stupid things like slutting during COVID. Well, even the guys are, so it's a moniker that I'm attaching to guys and gals is sluttiness. There's a lot of sexual promiscuity. I'd say that that's the minority. I'd say that that's the outliers. I'd say that's the people that are gluttonous. I'd say it's like the ones that can't push away from the food, the ones that love capitalism and greed and hoarding. I don't think that that's the vast majority of them. I know that there's this reputation of Generation Z being generous. Yeah, I mean, they probably are. I mean, once they realize you're sort of in struggle, where are they going to go with? You can almost shut your eyes and be at where they'd be at. I mean, ... if you're lonely, ... you can come hang with us, ... But we haven't seen that. We're seeing like the loser ass 3-girlfriend to a guy dumb shits out there during COVID-19 being sexually promiscuous. We're seeing kind of the autocrat supporters, the ones that support capitalism, the ones that don't mind being called fascists, even because it's cool to be a bigot or whatever. Those are the ones that are stupid and don't really understand that it's not cool. Greed isn't cool. Bigotry isn't cool. Hate isn't cool. Hypocrisy isn't cool. People that say that are not cool. They might look cool, like they were dropped out of a Spencer's catalog, but that doesn't make them cool. It means that they're trying to be cool. They'll mimic the latest rapper. A lot of these chicks, they'll only date the guys with the baseball caps, even though they're the cool weirdos in their own heads. You know what I mean? They'll be like, yeah, well, every dude has to have a baseball cap because women are going to take over and we demand it because capitalism is the best system ever. We could just capitalize and reverse it on the guys and be misandrous. Those are the fake cool people. Just know if somebody is like emulating top 40 music at all, rappers or rockers or country people, but you're seeing a lot of the Antifa shirts around worn by the kids and the people that are like 21, but you don't see them very often because, for one thing, they're usually the young people that don't go and hang out downtown in any city in this country or this planet, because that's just boring to them because there's nothing to do downtown really unless you're a douchebag. So there's this huge dent, though, where there's like, you have to realize that the country itself has never been more divided between the left and the right and the center. So it might seem like a lot of Zoomers aren't very generous and kind. It's because of the fact that their entire fashion sense is guided by rap music, rock music, and country music. It's not guided by any kind of like political morality or anything. It really isn't. It's just that the fake cool people change over time. Now the fake cool people are the ones that look like punk rockers because they co-opted everything, just as fascism does.
You know, until I have a hot Gen Z girlfriend too, when I know they're hooking up all over with Gen X dudes, I'm nothing compared to you, Spokane. You're perfect in every way. Good night.
As an older guy interested in younger males and a libtard or whatever you want to call me,